Every now and then, I'll find something that genuinely freaks me out. You'd think I'd be immune to getting scared, but what I'm about to show you is a special case. In 2017, a channel was created on YouTube under the name Kepther, and over the course of 3 years, they would go on to upload 114 videos containing occasionally gory and borderline indecipherable footage. Similar to how audience members believed that, upon release, the Blair Witch Project featured real footage and real deaths, Kepther had viewers believing the same, hoping that the creator of the videos would go to hell for what they had done and get doxxed so that someone can alert the local police. Without giving too much away, Kepther tells a story of a stalker-murderer duo from various perspectives. There is a loose chronological order, as indicated by the file names in each video's title. However, this is not how the videos were originally uploaded. Sorting by upload date brings us back to May 19th, 2017, though I'm sure the story takes place further in the past. Tonight, I'll guide you through the entire story of Kepther and offer up some of my own thoughts along the way. So hit the lights and get comfortable, because this is a disturbingly realistic found footage series. For the most part, Kepther's videos are untitled and simply left with their default file name, consisting of a few letters followed by a string of numbers. The letters at the start of the file name indicate that different cameras were used to film different videos. This also indicates a change in perspective, as there are multiple characters in the story, all recording with different cameras. The first video from Kepther is filmed from the DV perspective, or digital video, on what seems to be a 90s or early 2000s camera, as the resolution is poor and the ratio is 4:3. This footage is unassuming, at best, as our main character wanders around a forest, filming anything and everything, no matter how mundane. Without any prior knowledge, viewers wouldn't even be able to fathom the nature of the following videos, nor even realize that they're watching a horror series. The same goes for the next 4 videos. However, we get the sense that something is amiss when our cameraman starts filming people. The second video is much darker, literally. Our cameraman, let's call him DV for now, records himself walking around what seems to be an abandoned building at night, and nothing is too out of the ordinary. In a similar fashion, DV simply records everything, even if it's just footage of him walking around. That is, until he encounters someone, a man going for a late night walk, who he records from the other side of a playground. And even after the man distances himself, DV continues to film him in a stalker-like fashion. In the final few seconds of the video, the footage cuts to the outside of a building where two people are sitting across the road from the camera. Strangely, DV has no problem with recording these two people, even as one of them stares directly into the camera. The following video is surprisingly titled Garage. I say surprisingly because we can tell that there's no shift in perspective, despite the video having an abnormal name. We see this a few times in the series, as videos containing important events are sometimes named. Despite that, there's not much of note in this one. DV again films a few people minding their own business before the footage cuts off. This time around, DV finds himself in what seems to be an unfinished house, most notably with the basement area that's been boarded off. After peeking at the neighboring porches, we're taken into the basement for the final minute of footage. Nothing particularly interesting happens down here, and it's far too dark to see anything. Still, this footage is worth mentioning as this unfinished house and dark basement become the epicenter for much of the following footage. The next video marks the beginning of the series' gory reputation. Cat 1 through 6 contains footage of a decomposing raccoon, infested with bugs. Underneath the animal is a piece of paper that reads, "Please is watching." We can't be entirely sure where this takes place, but it could very possibly be the unfinished house, as the floor, the wall, and the lighting seem to be similar to what we saw in the previous footage. The video cuts to darkness after 20 seconds of filming the raccoon, before DV reveals that he's in some sort of park at night, and turns towards a campfire.
So you like that idea with the dead animals. So, what were you telling me earlier about the girl? Dude, do you mind putting the camera down for a minute and actually talking to me?
The footage starts with a conversation between DV and someone else. The first sentence is cut off, but one of them mentions a dead animal, most likely referencing the dead raccoon. The other person tries to change the subject to some girl that DV was telling him about, but gets annoyed when he's filmed. The scene then quickly cuts to the inside of a mall. Like usual, DV begins to record random shots, including people, until he begins to focus on one girl in particular. We follow the girl for about a minute until she leaves the building, never noticing us stalking her. Cue some transitional footage and we're soon latched onto a different girl, this time wearing a distinct purple jacket. We follow her for a little longer this time, making sure she doesn't see us, again until she leaves the building. Were either of these girls who the man at the start of the video was talking about, or were they just bystanders who unfortunately happened to run into our stalkerish cameraman at the mall? Either way, there's clearly something wrong happening here. As we progress through the footage, DV's habits have seemed to only get worse. This becomes apparent in the following footage, titled Prey, in which we're standing outside of someone's house at night, watching and filming them through the windows. Though we're not entirely sure who this is, Prey tells us a little bit of information about our cameraman. DV films anything and everything to a fault, to the point where even his friends are aware and annoyed by how much he films. Even then, following someone to their house and spying on them through the window is far worse than anything he's done until now. DV's tendencies to film in this manner could be a sign of someone with a mental disorder, but more on that later.
That implies that you're the star.
Okay.
Okay? I'm the one doing all the filming. I'm the one doing all the editing.
I'm filming right now.
You're not the star.
The following entries of footage are shot from a different perspective. The titles now start with the letter P instead of DV, and the footage is shot with a more modern camera. The man we see in front of the camera will be filming almost all of the footage starting with the letter P, so we can call him P. Along with P, there is who we can assume to be his girlfriend, named Elowen. Much of the footage surrounding these two is flat out unrelated to the main storyline, though there are some points of intersection we need to discuss. The basic premise is this: P and Elowen have gone into the forest to camp out for a single night. Besides these two messing around, it isn't until the 25th video in the series that something noteworthy happens. Let's see if you can spot it.
Is that a pumpkin? You see that?
It looks like a pumpkin.
Here, go over the top. Let's go check it out.
Ignoring the random pumpkin, we can see a pink ribbon tied to a dead branch. The same pink ribbon that DV filmed in the very first video. These bits of footage don't seem like they were filmed at the same time, as DV's footage contains greenery, while P stated that it was wintertime. So what exactly was DV doing out in this forest? Because he certainly wasn't there to go camping. Before we can ponder that question, the string of footage from P is broken up by a video titled Sleeping, containing almost 2 minutes of DV peeking through someone's window to watch them sleep. Similar to the video Prey, we're not entirely sure who this is that DV is stalking. Could it be one of the girls from the mall, the girl from Prey, or even someone we have yet to meet?
Is this yours? Do I need to pack that, or is it like trash?
Whoa. What's that? Like a mini DV tape?
I guess.
Was this in the bag?
No, that was just sitting up by our stuff.
No, it's not mine, but I'll take it.
Okay.
We'll see what's on it.
I mean, I don't know.
I think my dad might have a camera still that can play this.
What is it gonna be, like some sex tape or something?
Yeah, someone left a sex tape outside our tent. That's great.
Jumping back, it's getting dark outside, and P and Elowen are getting ready to call it a night. All of a sudden, Elowen discovers a tape near their campsite. The first and only culprit to come to mind is DV, as his tape looks old enough to belong to his camera, and we know that he's filmed in this forest before. These two don't seem concerned about it at all, but knowing DV's tendencies to stalk, this could be cause for concern. So what does this tape contain? If it's been lying there since spring or summer, then maybe the footage on the tape is the same as the first video from Kepther. But if the tape was just recently left there, perhaps it's footage we have yet to see. Assuming the latter, this must mean that DV is, at the moment, hiding in the forest, watching over P and Elowen. This begs the question, did he mean to leave behind this tape, or was it simply an accident? Swapping to DV's perspective, we're back at the unfinished house, specifically the basement, and there is a lot going on. The video starts with a chair and a bowl next to it on the ground, before briefly featuring a man wearing only a bag over his head. At one point, DV even films a glimpse of the decomposing raccoon. Nearing the end of the video, we can see that the barricades to the basement have been moved aside, and a dark figure looms at the top of the stairs. The camera glitches again, and for a few seconds, DV is chatting with a different person on the balcony. This person asks, "How are we even going to get in? Do you have a ladder?" So what exactly is going on here? It appears that DV is using the unfinished house as a home base of sorts. The naked man with a bag over his head, who I'll henceforth refer to as Bagman, is most likely a victim of DV. Up until this point, we haven't seen DV do anything violent or perhaps even anything illegal. But knowing that he's a stalker, I wouldn't put it past him to finally have started acting on his victims. Concerning the person featured at the end of the video, he looks and sounds exactly like the man from the bonfire, who's simply a friend of Alex's, and I doubt this footage is related to what we've just seen. And for the dark figure at the top of the stairs, keep him in mind.
What was it?
How was what?
First winter camping experience.
Oh my god.
It's pretty nice, right? Without all the animals and shit. Did you sleep well?
I slept fine. I only woke up like a few times. Did you sleep okay?
What you looking at? All right. Ready to get to it?
Yes.
Some McDonald's. What's up? What's wrong? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was just having like weird dreams last night and they sort of bother me.
Oh, like what?
I don't want to.
Elowen,
What?
you want me to stop the camera and we can talk about it?
As morning arrives, P and Elowen end their camping trip. Elowen refuses to elaborate on the bad dream she had last night and leaves it at that, as P starts to drive home. Following the end of their camping trip, the 50th video of the series is uploaded, containing 30 seconds of footage from the middle of the night they went camping.
Elowen. Elowen.
What?
You hear that?
Hear what?
Something moving around out there.
It's probably just a deer.
It sounds like there's something out there, like walking.
It's okay, just go
Knowing the tape that was left behind sometime during P and Elowen's camping trip, I'm sure that DV is the one lurking outside their tent. Since the video of Elowen finding the tape was mixed in with footage taken before they went to sleep, I was mistaken in thinking that she found the tape at night. In actuality, Ellen asks if they need to pack up the tape, as in they're packing up and leaving the campsite.
Is this yours? Do I need to pack that, or is it like trash?
Meaning that this footage takes place in the morning, reinforcing the idea that DV stalked their tent throughout the night. But why? Does DV have any relationship to these two? And does he plan on making them his next victims? The next set of footage is the longest in the series by far, clocking in at almost 32 minutes long. The first minute 30 consists of random nature footage, before jumping to DV wandering through a dark forest. Eventually, he reaches the unfinished house and gives the Bagman a short visit. As we can see when the Bagman stands up, he's not tied up at all, and he's actually able to move around freely. Does this mean he's staying there by choice? This seems unlikely, as no one would want to willingly live in these types of conditions. The footage cuts and DV is walking around the outskirts of a forest for a few minutes before getting in his car and driving to a friend's house.
Yeah, it was really crazy. I mean, the class was kind of hard, but the teacher was pretty good. And out of that, so this girl is just fine with you, like, filming her? Or did you not tell her? You didn't tell her, did you? Can you stop filming all the time? We're trying to, like, know that it's rare for you to find someone that you can talk to. And he cares about the project, I can see it, but I don't know. You know he's always tweaked out and shit, right? Alex, can you put the camera down for a minute? Turn it off. Is it off? Thank you. It wasn't a roadkill. Look, I don't want to do this project with Kevin anymore. You know it's fucked up when even I'm worried about you hanging out with somebody too much.
There's a lot to unpack here. Judging by their face and voice, this is a totally new character. A friend of DV's that we've never seen before. Or should I be calling DV Alex, as that's what his friend refers to him as. Alex's friend is clearly upset that Alex is filming women without their consent, and doesn't want Alex hanging out with someone named Kevin anymore. I believe that Alex's friend isn't fully aware of what's going on, just that something is up. Throughout this dialogue, Alex's friend mentions the project. While we don't exactly know what this project is, I think that Alex's friend is under the guise that all these recordings are part of some sort of art project. Again, unbeknownst to their darker undertones. But who is Kevin? Considering what Alex's friend has said, Kevin has been helping Alex with this project. If that's the case, then there's another person behind the scenes that we have yet to see. Another person helping Alex garner victims. Via process of elimination, there's only one person lurking throughout the series that this could be. The dark figure is Kevin, and this is just the start of his appearances. Nothing of note happens for the next 10 minutes, as Alex is just filming himself wandering around the forest, zooming in on anything that catches his attention. At the 20-minute mark, however, the scene changes to an entirely different season, as all the plants are dead, and the trees have lost their leaves, oddly reminiscent of the forest we see P and Eloin camping in. The rest of the footage speaks for itself. Alex stalks P and Elowen throughout the day, into the night, recording them while they're sleeping, with a particular focus on Elowen. This is most likely when he left behind the tape. Toward the end of the footage, we catch a glimpse of the dead raccoon, who's even further along in decomposition than before. The scene then cuts to a forest as we see the Bagman outside of the basement for the first time. Again, we spot the pink ribbon, indicating that we're in the same forest after all this time, just in a different season. The final few seconds consist of the Bagman carrying a black trash bag across a bridge of sorts, before the footage abruptly ends. The next video, titled Clap 1, picks up right where we left off. The Bagman continues to haul the trash bag across the bridge, and as Alex pans over to some blood scattered around, we can only assume what's inside of that bag. In the last few seconds of the video, the trash bag is gone, and only a purple jacket remains. If you remember back to one of the very first videos, when Alex really started stalking people, he filmed 2 girls in particular, one of which had this very same purple jacket. It seems certain that she was killed by Alex, Kevin, and or the Bagman, and then her body, inside of the black trash bag, was thrown into the river, with only her jacket as remaining evidence. In the following footage, aptly titled Rot, we're once again shown the decomposing raccoon. As much as I don't like looking at it, I feel as if we're accustomed to it by now. Alex then zooms in on the paper underneath the raccoon, and it now clearly reads out, "Please, God is watching." Without any breaks, we're hit with another one of Alex's videos, the sequel to Clap 1, as his footage is titled Clap 2. The first half of the video consists of dark footage from the unfinished basement. At the very end of the corridor, we can faintly make out someone moving slowly across the screen, and it sounds like they're dragging something heavy. The camera then cuts to a still of incredibly gory intestines, as a man in a hazmat suit attempts to clean it up. Alex, Kevin, and the Bagman are now accomplices in the murder of at least one girl. What was once a bad habit of recording anything and everything has now turned into murder footage, cementing Alex's place as a criminal. And while we technically haven't seen Kevin or Alex do anything, in fact, we haven't seen much of Kevin at all, they're still just as twisted as whoever actually carried out the crime of murdering this girl. At this point, what's most confusing is the Bagman's role in all this. So far, we have no idea who this person is or where he came from. Is he a victim of Alex and Kevin, being forced to strip down and carrying out these heinous acts? Or is he doing this of his own free will?
just climb into people's windows.
In the next video we see from Alex, he's walking around a secluded area at night with a girl, specifically someone we've never seen before. While she doesn't seem to be too concerned with the situation, I can't help but feel like we're about to witness her become another victim.
There in Miami, and like those fairs were so vintage. Like literally, I don't think they have any like safety precautions to them. So I went down a slide, and at the end of the slide, it was like a steep ass slide too. And at the end, it was just metal. And I slid down super fast, and the back of my bag hit the bottom of my bag hit the metal. And I just got up and I started walking out, and I was in so much pain I couldn't even breathe. And I had to control the climate.
If you have a keen eye, you may have noticed another person in this video. 27 seconds into this footage, we can see a light coming from behind a set of bushes. Less than a minute later, we can see the same light following Alex and the girl, as she rambles on about her incident on a slide. Finally, for a single frame toward the end of the video, we can see someone dressed in all black with white shoes. With all this in mind, I can only assume that this third person is Kevin, and that this girl is no longer alive. At least not for much longer.
When did this stuff take in, guys? How long ago did you take it? Hey, what's good, yeah? Do you ever talk?
The following video, titled Gray, seems unimportant on a surface level. Alex is riding in the passenger seat of a car, filming out the window. Unfortunately, I can't make out what's being said at the beginning of the video, or by who, but one viewer did identify the song playing in the background, Befriend a Child Killer by Venetian Snares, a fitting name for this whole scenario.
You've taken the pills and you are mine now. You will follow the instructions I give you. Any deviation from these instructions will result in pain. The instructions are as follows. One clap means you will bury your bag. Two claps means you need to clean up. Three claps means something needs to be moved. Four claps means it's time to go.
This set of footage is originally what got me interested in this series. In this video, we see Kevin, dressed again in black clothing and white shoes, this time wielding a weapon as he directs the Bagman into the darkness, while Alex is of course behind the camera. This video, titled Pills, seems to be referencing certain pills given to the Bagman. As Kevin says, "You have taken your pills and you are now mine. You will follow the instructions I give you." The instructions given to the Bagman were referenced just a few videos earlier. In Clap 1, Bagman was instructed to carry the bag. In Clap 2, Bagman was instructed to clean up. Toward the end of the video, we see the Bagman lying on the ground. The final scene consists of who we can assume to be the Bagman with his face revealed, completely covered in blood as his body is being dragged away. It must have been at this point that Kevin and Alex disposed of the Bagman as they no longer needed him. However, due to the series' non-sequential nature, we will be seeing more footage featuring the Bagman in the future. In the midst of all this chaos, a new perspective is introduced. This is the DS perspective, and for the time being, they like to film dogs and flowers and whatever catches their eye, really. Kinda like Alex, except they're not serial killers. There are a lot of people featured on the DS footage, making it hard to tell who these videos really belong to, but we can place this on the back burner for now.
Do you want me to take the sledgehammer? It's easier the other way.
The next video, titled Burn, starts with Alex and a girl in the middle of a forest. This may remind you of one of the prior videos, in which I stated that this girl most likely became a victim. I believe that these two are the same person. If you listen closely, you can hear her say,
Do you want me to take the sledgehammer?
in response to someone else. This immediately sets off alarms in my mind, as the weapon Kevin was wielding in pills was a sledgehammer, presumably what they killed the Bagman with. Is this girl in on what Kevin and Alex have been doing? If so, she should know that she isn't safe, as Kevin and Alex have already shown that they're not afraid to cut dead weight loose. The video cuts, and Alex is once again lurking outside someone's house. As he's doing so, he sets a bucket down on the ground and begins burning a photograph. The first time around, I couldn't make out what the photograph was, just that it featured blood. However, stopping the video at exactly 1 minute and 44 seconds, you can see a girl lying on the ground with a fatal wound. Alex's camera doesn't focus, so it's hard to make out who this is exactly, but rewinding the video to 53 seconds in, we can catch a brief glimpse of what looks to be someone's unmoving hand. We can see the sleeve of this person's shirt, and after matching it up with the girl at the beginning, it's quite similar. The following footage is fairly normal, after what we've become accustomed to. Alex has gone back to his old habits of filming random scenes. Unfortunately, the scene switches to a gruesome concoction of dead bugs, and then back to a forest. In the forest, we see someone with a red mask shining a light toward the camera, similar to the light we've seen throughout the series whenever Kevin is nearby, though we've never seen Kevin wear this mask. But isn't this just a little strange? Standing out in the woods at night, wearing this type of costume, makes me wonder if Alex and Kevin have some sort of ulterior motive. And come to think of it, why film these videos at all? Kevin has appeared in so many sets of footage, yet he's always shrouded in darkness or wearing a mask. Whenever we hear him speak, his voice is always unnatural, as if he's using a voice changer of sorts. Of course, we haven't seen Alex either, as he's always behind the camera. If they're trying to keep their identities hidden, then you'd think that filming these murders isn't the best idea. Keep this in mind as we near the end of the series. following videos, Vulture and Alex, I believe, are a pair, and they are both incredibly disturbing, to the point where I didn't even want to watch anymore my first time through. The first minute of Vulture contains audio of Kevin speaking to Alex, while the video occasionally cuts to the two stalking outside of someone's house. In the footage, we can see Kevin looming outside the house in his usual attire, and even a split-second video of someone's hand being smashed with a hammer. This is the audio that plays over it.
I've noticed you've been aloof lately. You like this, don't you? My neighbor. I want you to understand that this is all bigger than you. I've had my eye on her for some time now. I will have her and you can pick up the scraps, like a vulture. She's next.
Afterward, we can see a few figures wandering outside the house. Most notably, we see the red mask that Kevin was wearing previously. The final 20 seconds of the video consist of distorted audio. However, to me it sounds like the opening and closing of doors, followed by the sounds of footsteps on what I imagine to be the unfinished basement floor. In the video, Alex, we can hear a faint cry as the camera is positioned toward the basement wall. A figure in black, similarly dressed to the one we saw last video, slowly creeps into frame as the distorted sound of someone coughing plays in the background. Then, for a split second, an image of someone being impaled through the mouth flashes on screen, followed by the now complete message, "Please don't steal my tapes, please. God is watching." Judging by the dialogue in the previous video, it seems that Alex and Kevin have just murdered their neighbor. However, I think the most important part of all of this is the way Kevin speaks to Alex, almost as if he's manipulating him, trying to convince Alex that all of this project, is good for him. From this point on, the DS footage follows two girls, one who is seemingly unaware of the serial murders being committed by Kevin and Alex, while the other is the girl from RLMR and Burn, who was helping Kevin and Alex with the sledgehammer, and whose dead body we saw toward the end of that footage.
It just frustrates me how much attention Kevin gives Alex. It's like, I don't even know what he sees in him. This dude doesn't even talk, he just like records random ass shit. Well,
isn't Alex like autistic or something? Like, I think Kevin's just being kind of nice to him.
It's not even like that. Glad he hasn't been around lately. Like, Kevin has just been filming his own stuff without him. I think they got into like a fight or something.
About what?
Just about things we've been doing. I think he's like worried that Alex is gonna tell people stuff.
Tell people stuff about like what? What have you guys been doing?
Nothing, just like,
It's none of anyone's business, really. What is that?
Alex has autism, most likely the leading cause behind his compulsion to film everything. This, however, has upset Kevin, as these tapes may fall into the wrong hands, leading to eventual arrests. We already know that this has happened, as Alex has accidentally left behind a tape after stalking P and Elowen, so Kevin has taken it upon himself to film some videos without Alex. Again, we're left wondering why Kevin feels the need to have all of this recorded. In the next video, we once again see the girl from Burn. The rest of the video is just about nonsense. However, a fight breaks out between Alex and the girl after she realizes that Alex lost the tape while filming P and Elowen.
Fuck! This is gonna fucking kill you if you don't have that tape, right? We're supposed to know you didn't go to someone with it. Where the fuck are you going? He was with them all night. He was following around.
The rest of the video is comprised of a dark figure with a light next to a lake. Here's my take on the girl's story. In Burn, we can see her helping Kevin and Alex with a sledgehammer, meaning she's in on the murder spree. In DV-100-115, she gets into a disagreement with Alex. In RLMR, Alex lures her into the woods while being followed by Kevin. At the end of Burn, Alex burns a photo of her with a fatal wound while showing a glimpse of her dead body. Her story concludes with the final scene of DV-100-115, ending with Kevin possibly dumping her body into a lake. The following video, Smut, is interesting to say the least. We're shown someone dressed in a wedding gown walking through a field, and then the unfinished basement, passing by the red mask we often see Kevin wearing. The video ends inside a small hut filled with pictures. Most of the writing on the pictures is indiscernible, however we can see the caption, "Kevin with company," tagged onto a faint picture of the person in the wedding dress. After that, we're shown a picture of the same person bowing down to the mask we saw earlier in the video. If this really is Kevin in the dress, this seems more ritualistic than anything we've seen these two do beforehand. Kevin, who's always hidden his face, is now allowing pictures to be taken of himself, all for this mask draped in plastic bags. Is this some sort of deity to them? Do they kill for this mask? The plain truth is, we don't know. Prolapse is not what it sounds like, I think. The footage is incredibly low quality, and the only thing you can make out is a giant red bulge connected somewhere on someone's body, being stabbed repeatedly by a fork or a knife. This giant red bulge eventually pops, leading to a torrent of red liquid flowing out. Not sure who's poking who in this, but it's disturbing to say the least. Listen for yourself. For the first time in the series, the footage's file name starts with IMG, meaning this is being taken on a more modern camera, and more importantly, from another person's perspective. What follows is a 15-second conversation between two characters off screen.
I just say, oh yeah, it's just some autistic kid. I mean, that's not an excuse. I'm trying not to get the police involved here. What am I supposed to do? Understand that it's your house, it's your face on the tape, no?
You're recording that?
No, I'm not recording.
I didn't catch this the first time around, but the main speaker of this video sounds an awful lot like P, or as his name is later revealed, Matt. I believe that Matt is speaking to Alex's friend who also showed concern for Alex's behavior earlier in the series, as his face and his house were featured in the tapes. If I had to guess, Matt watched whatever was on the tape he found during the camping trip, which most likely contained something fairly disturbing, and now he wants answers. The following video is also shot from Matt's perspective. We can even see him in his car in the very first frame. This time around, he's driven to the unfinished house to confront Alex for himself.
Alex? Alex? Hey dude. My name's Matt. I just want to talk to you for a second. I talked to your friend Liam. Can I talk to you for a second? Hey Alex? Alex, dude, you're not in trouble. I just want to talk for a second. Are you down here? Alex? Kevin? Alex, dude, Liam sent me. Okay? Can you come out here for a second?
I believe that Kevin and Alex killed Matt, simply because he knew too much to be left alive. After the camera goes black, we can hear 3 claps in the background. If you remember correctly, 3 claps means something needs to be cleaned. We then hear the Bagman begin to move, and we can assume he's disposing of Matt's body. In the following video, Alex and Kevin drive out to the middle of the woods, most likely to dispose of Matt's body. If you ask me, I believe that Alex and Kevin end up stealing Matt's car, as in gray, the inside of the car looks very similar to the inside of Matt's. In footage posted a little bit earlier from Alex's perspective, Elowen even mistakes Alex for Matt, most likely because they're driving the same car.
What were you doing parked? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were somebody else.
Who knows what this could mean for Elowen? I doubt she's safe from becoming the next victim due to her connection with Matt. The final video, titled Old House, consists of Alex filming the inside of the unfinished house. However, now it looks deteriorated and in much worse shape, possibly hinting that this takes place further in the future. Does this mean that Alex and Kevin were never caught and still roam free? That's something we'll never get closure on, as this video contains no dialogue and very little sound, before cutting off abruptly, ending the series forever. A lot of questions will be left unanswered. That's just how this format of storytelling is. Watching the series 2 times through, it's still unclear whether Alex was doing this of his own volition, or if Kevin coerced him into this killing spree. Personally, with how the characters speak about their relationship, saying Kevin is a bad influence on Alex, and that Alex has a hard time meeting people he can really connect with, it seems that Kevin is taking advantage of him, using Alex as a cameraman to film his twisted behavior. This whole time I've been referring to this duo as Kevin and Alex, when in reality, it's just Kevin. And while I didn't mention this as we were watching through the series, it's possible that Alex left Elwyn the tape on purpose. He wanted them to find out, as a way of crying out for help, for someone to save him from Kevin's rituals. I believe that these killings are, in some form, ritualistic because the way Kevin dresses and acts is not of someone who simply kills because they have the desire to murder, but as if this project has some greater purpose. Overall, I haven't felt this excited to cover a YouTube channel in a long time. The realism is outstanding, and I love how we can put together a story despite seemingly fragmented videos containing incoherent nonsense at times. The way the tone dips between serious and playful makes the footage that much more believable. Kepther is a hidden gem, and I'm surprised I didn't hear about it sooner. Like always, that's all from me. Thank you for listening to my ramblings about this series, and let me know if you have any different theories in the comments. Until next time, I wish you all a very good night.